Hey friends, it's me, Nell, and this is Getting Personnel with Christ. Join me as I talk story about how Jesus pops up in my everyday life and surrounds me with his love. Grab a drink, sit down, just listen. Talk story.
Hey everybody, it's me, Melanie, also known as Nell, and thank you for coming and listening to It's Getting Personnel with Christ. It's been a week. Um, God has blessed me so much, and man, I can't believe all the good things that has happened. From flying to California, Long Beach, California, to do a talk at NCYC, would be one of the speakers, and be with my friends and Michelle, Nicole, and Sherry, and my mom and my cousin helping me, Chandi, with everything that needed to be done at NCYC, from running my booth to being my support at my talk. My talk was called If You're Invited, so RSVP. You are chosen. It's time to respond. Hopefully, I'll be able to do my talk for you on this podcast, but or maybe come to you and present my talk to you. But let's get started with it's me, Melanie. Fun facts about me. So I can be a worry wart. Is that how you say it? Worry wart. I get mixed up with my W's and R's. I can't say no, real world. Railway. Worry, work. So yeah, I have a problem saying these W's and R's, but let's get started. I'm a worry wart, and I tend to worry a lot. And one of the things I worried about when I was younger was being left behind somewhere, and yeah, not being found. But there was one time I wasn't worried at all. I thought I'll be okay. Like it'd be great. Um, I did not graduate from high school. I dropped out of high school and I went to an alternative school and got my GED. But when I was in high school, my counselor, bless his soul, he's such a good counselor. Um, he he what do you call it? He recommended that I go to this school out in another city. That was I had to take the bus to go to, and for Hawaii people, it's pretty far. Not far, far, but like it's a bus ride away. I had to take two buses to get there. And I go to classes for like 2 to 3 hours every couple of days, a week, and my mom would pick me up. I would catch bus there, and my mom would pick me up after she was done with work. And so there was this one time I was sick, and I said, "Oh, maybe I'm not gonna go to class today." But I ended up feeling better, so I went to class. I caught the bus, had class, and then um, the teachers waited until my mom came to get me. But this day, my mom didn't come and pick me up right away. And they waited with me for maybe an hour, and then they said, "You have to go." And so I waited at the bus stop, and it was now, mind you, classes started at 3:30. We ended maybe around 5:30, and so I waited for mom with my teachers till an hour, and then they said they had to go, so I waited at the bus stop, and it was getting dark, and it was dark, and my mom still hadn't come. I didn't have a cell phone, or maybe I did. I don't remember. I probably did have a cell phone, but she wasn't answering, I guess. And she thought that I didn't go to school, so she didn't think she had to pick me up. I was not worried. I was like, okay, I'll get home somehow. Um, but yeah, other than that, I'm such a worry wart. I worry about all the things and all the things that could happen, and what could not happen, what could have happened, and yeah, it's yeah, it's so it sucks so bad that I worry a lot. And this week, we'll get into what we're going to talk about today. And this week, my school student council kids, we had a service project called Harvest Hope Day, and they made little hope bags for the homeless and veterans of the people in our state. We sent it off to our food pantry at our church, and then Catholic Charity of Hawaii, and a local shelter, homeless shelter in town. And so they asked all the student body and all the teachers to create little hope bags for these brothers and sisters in Christ. And they decorated the bags, brown paper bags, and we also filled them with toiletries and water and little snacks for them to eat, so they have something um, for themselves, you know. And it was called Harvest Hope Day, and we made the bags, which were hope bags, and I had to do the last 75 bags, like writing them, decorating them, and filling them up. And I had some help from my mom and some of the aftercare kids and teacher. And all this time, I was like, our our theme of for our school is hope this year. I kept thinking, what can I write on these bags? And I thought of Padre Pio, pray, hope, and don't worry. Uh, this week I had worried so much, this past week and this week. So, like I said before, last week was NCYC, and I worried so much because I had to do a talk. I had to run my booth and sell my book and my stickers and my shirts and everything. I worried about everything. I worried that, my book wasn't going to sell. I worried that I'm not going to be able to carry everything to California and back to Hawaii. I worried about everything. The one thing I worried about was speaking to 400 people. Now, that's what they said. They told me that you could be speaking to 400 people in each session. And, you know, I worried, like, I've never spoken to more than maybe 100 people. And so I was freaking out. The day of my first talk, I literally was like, my body was out of control of that. Like, I had like this icky feeling like that wouldn't go away. Like, I don't know, just nervousness and anxiety. But then my friend Nicole was all like, maybe you should go to adoration, pray, and, just talk to Jesus and calm down. And so I went. But the thing I wanted to do first was to check out the venue or the room that I would be speaking in. And so I went there, I opened the door, and I'm like, wow, this isn't going to hold 400 people, maybe 200, maybe 150. I don't know if I was relieved or even more worried because I was planning for 400 people to be speaking to, but then this amount of chairs that I saw was less than what I thought of. And I worried, like, what if I'm not ready to even speak to 150 people, 100 people? And I was, I, I, I didn't know what to do. So immediately I went to adoration and I prayed to Jesus and I said, Jesus, like, you know, w- how am I going to relate to these kids? I plan to talk to a big, massive amount of 400 people. And yet I have this intimate setting of just maybe 100 to 200 people. And God said, don't worry. Jesus said, don't worry. You'll be fine. So I went to do my talk. I had the support of my mom and a couple of my friends there. And at first, not gonna lie, when I got there, the whole time I was waiting before it began, I went to go talk to some people, ask them where they were from, and the youth ambassadors introduced me, and the whole time they were introducing me, couldn't see it, but my legs were totally shaking. Um, I was so worried that I wasn't gonna do it right now, and like I've spoken to this amount of people before, but I don't know, being on this different level where it's not just people from Hawaii, it's the people from California and Iowa and Montana and Texas and New York, all these people that I have not seen before. And so I was like, please, Lord, help me not to worry. Um, and I just prayed and prayed. And as soon as they finished introducing me, I stepped on the stage and I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm meant to be. Up here, speaking truth, up here, sharing my life, up here, inviting people to Jesus. And so I want to thank Padre Pio for, reminding me that I should pray and hope and don't worry and, just let Jesus take the wheel. And it's been amazing coming back to such a love and support of all my friends and family and being able to hear back from the youth and the adults that were there at my talk, and opportunities have come. And so even though I worry so much, I I'm so glad that I have Jesus by my side to like push me through and say, you got this. And so I want to also thank my mom and Michelle, Nicole, and Sherry and my cousin Chandi for all their support this past week. And I want to know from you, who are your anti-worry and anti-worry warriors? Anti-worry warriors. Oh my gosh, what did I pick that for? Anti-worry warriors. Oh my gosh. So who's your anti-worry warriors? So mine right now would be Padre Pio for helping me to pray, hope, and don't worry. And to all the people who helped me this past week, uh, my friends, my mom, who helped me not to worry and to put my trust in the Lord. And so leave a comment in below. Leave a comment down below and tell me who your anti-worry warriors are so that we can pray and give the thanks for everything they do. I'm glad that we are coming to this next holiday, Thanksgiving. And throughout this week, I challenge you to thank everybody who has helped you get through things. And with that, go light up the world with his love. Bye.